What's up, everybody? Martin13 here. You see the title of the video, let's get on with this. Alright, so lastly left off was Ochako, seeing Albedo and Ajax flying in front of her, which, this leads to her and Suyu basically rushing the UA dorm rooms. Basically to make sure everyone's there, along with, but unbeknownst to them, this happens to multiple students throughout Class 1A. They see Albedo or Ajax, and thus this leads to all of Class 1A, including Aizawa, who grabs Eri just to be... Which she also grabs Eri, reason being that at Eri's kindergarten or preschool, wherever she's at, some of the people listed to be able to pick her up is Lincoln and Izuku. So, just to be more safe than sorry, he makes... Oh, and Mirio's also allowed to. Basically, to be more safe than sorry, pick some Eri up too, just in case. This leads to all of Class 1A getting home before Lincoln and Izuku, which basically they're trying to wait for them, but eventually they see two things phasing from the top of the floor with Eri thinking it is Izuku and Lincoln, but once they land off, they see the, red and, clusterfuck. Red and blue, the red and blue symbols of the omnitrix, with this being a clear indicator of who it is. With Aizawa asking, what are they doing here? How they even get out of that prison that Izuku and Lincoln said they were in? With them giving the spell that someone let them out, and now they want Izuku and Lincoln's head. Although Albedo and Ajax does say that they wouldn't mind taking the Osmosian's head as well. And with this, this leads to the two attacking, which we don't, as this zooms out from the UA dorm rooms. Yeah, it zooms out of the UA dorm rooms, and you can see a couple of flashes of yellow and red, blue and red, but eventually, when you zoom, just blue and red, and with that being before they eventually stop. And with that, we skip to the main boys as they finally get back, walking to dorm rooms, with Lincoln deciding to pull out a cigarette, and with Izuku taking one, as they need to de-stress. Which, during their ride back, they were rehearsing a plan or endeavor to stop Toya. Although, when they all get there, Lincoln and Izuku don't feel anything. As being trained by Gwen, they both know a little bit of mana and magic. It's just that Lincoln knows more than Izuku. They don't feel anyone's life energy, so they think that they must have been the first ones to get here. With Lincoln and Izuku putting out their cigarette, their smokes, they go in only to see the dorm rooms completely destroyed. With Lincoln almost immediately telling them to look out for anyone. Find something. And with this leads to our main six boys just walking around scouring. Although Lincoln finally walks upon something, telling the others to come here as he plays the hollow disc. And with this it shows a hologram of Albedo and Ajax telling them greetings and being a smartass. Basically telling them that they've captured their friends and loved ones, and telling them that they have an hour to get here before they start killing them off one by one. With also panning the camera to see Vilgax holding his sword at let's just say Aizawa's throat, with Ajax telling him that even if they get here late, him and Albedo aren't ones that harm children. Vilgax, on the other hand, they don't know. Telling them that they have an hour. And with that, the hologram match is cut off, with Lincoln and Izuku looking really pissed. And with that, Lincoln, Lincoln looks at this before, basically holding his plumber badge over it, before saying that he sent it to Ben, to the main plumber base. Basically, so along with sending them the coordinates too that they have. Basically, to make sure that the plumbers know where they are. As this is when Lincoln gets up and says that he could teleport them at least to where it just be a 15-minute run from them. That way, so they can all still have enough energy to fight. And with that being said, Lincoln starts pronouncing a spell, a teleportation spell, that teleports them a couple of miles away. They're all still in their hero suits too, mind you. Actually, no, that wouldn't make sense. They're not in their hero suits, but just a little added bonus. Lincoln puts them all of them. Which, if you're wondering how, magic. That's how. So with that, our main six starts rushing to where the little cave that Albedo set them at. Wow, we skipped to the plumber base. Showing, as we see Ben, Kai, Rook, Gwen, and Kevin all walking out of a ship. Basically, Ben saying that he's happy to be back on Earth. And then he should probably check on, our main four, just in case. As while they're getting ready to walk back to, why can't I say Patala? The Ripjaws dude. Jeez, I cannot pronounce his name. Patalape, the Ripjaws dude, comes up telling him to look at this. As Ben and them come up to see playing on a screen the message from Albedo and Ajax along with the coordinates, saying that it came from Lincoln's plumber badge. And me, with this, realizing that they're already on their way there, Ben tells the others to come on as they run, telling Rook to get the proto truck ready. While rushing to the proto truck, with Ben hopefully thinking that things don't go wrong until they get there and hoping that they all stay alive. Now then, we get to our boys who finally land in front of the little cave. As with this, Albedo then comes out. Albedo and Ajax comes out gloating, saying how easy it was, saying they barely made it for 5 minutes. With them basically asking Albedo his whole spiel of why he's doing this, just normal stuff. With them also asking how he get his phony omnitrix to start, their phony omnitrix and omegatrix to start working again. With Albedo saying that Albedo and Ajax saying they both had a little help before they end up activating too. But not only did they get it to start working again, they added a special feature. Now, they transform into, Humongosaur and Dynamite, saying that now, not only can we transform into these features again, they twist the dials on their chest before slapping them down as 4 things pop out of the rip-off Omni and Omegatrix as the 2 Vaxasaurians start growing in size, muscles ripping apart, replaced with steel, claws, and even spilling some blood from the transformation, saying that now they can evolve those creatures. With this, Lincoln Nezuko wastes no time transforming into both Humongosaur and Dynamite, with Shoto activating Phosphor, and Katsuki getting Shoto activating Phosphor, Clyde absorbing the ground, Chandler, Clyde not only absorbing the ground, but his hair starts turning more white, with the black marks appearing. The Chandler, purple lightning starts surrounding him until it covers his body completely. Basically like a little lightning cloak. And Katsuki, he starts pulling the move. He starts getting his explosions ready. As this is when the fight begins with Lincoln Nezuko trying to... With Katsuki and Chandler being the first to attack him. Chandler basically turning to pure straight up lightning bolt, blasting into blasting into them, with Koski jumping up before screaming howitzer. Basically, alright, going for he knows there's no joking around right now, so he already goes for one of his ultimate moves. He goes for a howitzer impact, slamming on top of the two, which after that he's grabbed before slammed into the ground and being thrown into the side of a wall. Well, more like being, I guess being thrown into a rock. I mean, they are in a desert somewhere. Yeah, no, throwing them into a rock. Throws Koski through a rock, which leads to him bursting out as Link and Nezuko start growing before rushing at them, which they clash fist, which almost immediately shatters nearly everything around. But as the dust settles, it's revealed to show that's revealed to show the two ultimate Vaxasaurians standing over the non-evolved ones. As Shoto comes from behind, using a flash fire fist, basically lighting the terrain on fire and freezing it at the same time. With Clyde also doing a similar move, except while freezing the ground, he uses his osmosing abilities to manipulate the ice to basically turn it into a blizzard of sorts. Aptly named Blizzard, sending it after Ultimate Vaxasaurians. But it does nothing as they turn their hands into Gatling guns and start firing. Which just leads to the others trying to dodge but getting hit by the explosions from, the bones hitting everywhere, sending them back as, the two Vaxasaurians then turns to the nearly unconscious ones under them for just letting off multiple explosions that end with a dust cloud that also ends with Link and Nezuko being thrown back a couple of feet, or more like at least a good 100 feet, as they crash into a somewhat nearby ditch, like a big ditch in the ground, and transferring back. And with that transferring back, Link and Nezuko could both hear their hearts pounding in their chest, along with the fact that their heads basically been split open. There's a lot of blood before they try to get up, coughing more blood out, along with the fact that now they're sporting 2 new scars. Well, both of them are supporting a new scar. Basically, their cheeks have been scarred from the explosion. I say, from where your, cheekbone is and, just go down a little bit on their neck. So, yay, new scars for them. Which, as they're trying to get up, they hear a crash behind them, which is Albedo and Ajax just standing there looking at them, smiling. With this, the two just decided to say fuck it before going full-on ball, activating full 100% of One for All before just throwing as many damn near tsunami-creating punches as they can. Basically, they're trying their hardest here, sending out multiple punches, along with using Smokescreen, which, I should probably explain, which I hope I did, and probably didn't in the last video, but basically the whole thing with Aelin X basically led to them gaining the user's quirks. All of the user's quirks, a little bit of, most of them. They have, I should probably explain the quirks they do have. They have Smokescreen, Black Whip, and, Float. That's it for now. But yeah. Basically, Zuko and Lincoln are constantly summoning their fists to the, Vaxasaurians before eventually using Smokescreen to create, smoke and transforming, shooting fire as heat blasts, hitting them as cannonball, speeding around, creating a tornado. Basically, they're doing about everything they can before eventually ending up in the air, which they then turn the cannonball to basically do a ground slam, hitting the two Vaxasaurians, causing a massive dust cloud to emerge with them transforming back. with them thinking that maybe it had to do something, but instead, this is when Albedo and Ajax walked out of the smoke that was created, nearly fine. Sure, they're bleeding they're bleeding just a bit, as Albedo and Ajax say, all of that for just a few drops of blood. As this happens, they're almost both immediately smacked by their tails of the two Vaxasaurians, sending them into opposing sides of a wall. As Ajax grabs Lincoln and Albedo grabs Izuku and basically starts squishing them. With them saying how they could just kill both of them right here and now and turn them into a red paste. But that wouldn't be fun. And plus, they kind of need them alive, for now at least, as they jump out of the ravine, lending back to see that Vilgax has led all of Class 1A and them outside, and showing them the unconscious forms of Katsuki and Shoto, Glide, and Chandler spread out. With this, they see Albedo land back, holding an unconscious Lincoln and Izuku before dropping them to the floor. Along with this is when Vilgax's Bioid's army, as Lincoln and Izuku do stir awake a bit before waking up, with Vilgax showing them his Bioid army. Basically, showing them the Bioids. I really don't know what you want from me on this one, how to make it a grand scheme of explanation. But, yeah. With this happening, Vilgax points this, as Vilgax has been told all about Class 1A by Albedo and Ajax, and basically he tells Lincoln Izuku as he grabs Eri, which some of the members of Class 1A try to break out of their bindings to stop him, but they can't. They tell them that they know they care about this child. Vilgax saying that if they don't give up the omnitrix right now, he's going to squeeze this girl until she pops. With this, Lincoln and Izuku tell them not to stop, that they'll give up the omnitrix. Just let her down. And, Vilgax says to give up the omnitrix first, and then he'll put her down. So with this, Lincoln and Izuku close their eyes before revaluing the decouple code for the omnitrix, which leads to it falling off. And with this, Vilgax walks up to the two watches, grabbing them and setting Eri down in front of them, saying that he is a man of his word. As he drops the girl, he lets Lincoln catch her. And with this, he puts the two watches on his arms as they resize to fit him. With him saying, at last, I, Vilgax the Conqueror, have gained the ultimate power. Evil villain shit. And with this, he ends up popping the wrists. He activates the watches before slamming them down, as the Bioids immediately change their DNA to become that of Humongosaur, all of them shouting out Humongosaur and, Dynamighty. With Vilgax saying that this is perfect, along with telling them thanks to them that he will conquer the universe. With this, now then, while this has happened, energy beams start raining down from the sky, making Vilgax look up. It start actually hitting him until he puts up the yellow shield that he had in Alien Force, as he looks up to see something pink almost immediately rushed down, smacking both Albedo and Vilgax away, as it's revealed to have been Gwen in her Anodite form, with her turning around asking them if they're okay. With her pronouncing the same teleportation spell that Lincoln then teleporting all of Class 1A out of there onto the main mothership. Well, their ship before flying off. With this, Albedo and Ajax as Vilgax basically raised their hands, telling Vilgax that they had a deal. They get them the Omnitrix, and they get their original forms back. With Vilgax, telling him that won't work as he sicks the Humongousaur, the Bioids on Albedo and Ajax, which eventually leads to them overwhelming them and capturing them. With this, Vilgax starts laughing maniacally, saying that he's won. While up on the ship, flying away as they land in some forest. With Ben, Gwen making sure to check on them first, all of them, while releasing the bindings from Class 1A, along with healing any of the ones that were actually hurt. Like Link and Nezuko in their severely broken arms, and the other parts of the main six with the severe head trauma are just broken bones. After healing them, Gwen asks what the hell do they think they were doing not waiting for backup. With Link and Nezuko responding that they didn't have time for backup. They had an hour before they started killing them. It's not really a census for waiting. They, say. Which Eri is basically hugging Lincoln. Scared out of her mind, yes, but yeah, still scared. As they land, with Lincoln asking if there's any other plumbers in this vicinity. With them saying no, as they were the only ones, they just got back. And with this, they land somewhere out, saying that they're gonna have to go over a plan to stop Vilgax. And with this leads to Link and Nezuko asking, can they be let out so they can have some time to think? And, with this, they grant them their wish as they open the doors and let Link and Nezuko walk out while the rain is pouring. Basically, while walking with their heads down, wondering how they mess up this bad. They should have seen this coming. While they're walling, this leads to the two eventually screaming for Azimuth to help them, so they know what to do. They can't really think of any other options here. Albedo has the omnitrix, which directly outpowers everyone in the class with those ultimate forms. Albedo and Ajax, but they gave everything they had, of every bit of strength they had, while using One for All and the other quirks and the omnitrix, and still only managed to get a few drops of blood out. As this is when they hear Azimuth's voice telling them that they are the two most sentimental fools he's ever met in his life. The most sentimental, compassionate fools he's ever met in his life. As he appears and starts basically talking to them, saying how he let his greatest creation in the hands of two and how they let his greatest creation in the hands of 3 air-grown psychopaths. With Link and Nezuko asking him what to do, as they can't think of anything. Of all the possibilities, it all ends in him losing. Although this is when they hear Azimuth says something. It isn't easy to win without the Omnitrix, is it? With the boys remembering something, remembering a code about the Omnitrix they found. SDM. And with that, they say that no, it isn't. With them telling Azimuth thank you, with him saying that the weather on this planet is beautiful. And with that, the two boys walk back to the ship. As we switch to the ship, with Ben saying that he's gonna go find those two to get ready for the plan. And just about he's about to open the door, it opens with Link and Nezuko standing there, telling him that they have a plan. And with this leads to the strongest members of Class 1A breaking into Vilgax's ship, while the more weaker ones stay to guard the ship and basically get ready to fire anything if anything happens. And by stronger ones like Class Way, I mean Lincoln, Nezuko, Clyde, Chandler, Katsuki, Shoto, Ejiro, and Fumikage. And yeah, that's about it, really. They would have brought Dinky along, but at the same time, he still hasn't gotten over his short-circuiting issue, and that could get him killed up here. So, while yes, he is one of the more stronger members of Class 1A, the cons outweigh the pros on this one. And with that, they start basically ravaging through Vilgax's... Ben, Gwen, Kai, Kevin, and Max are here too. As they start rushing through Vilgax's ship, before eventually getting to the main hall to see Albedo and Ajax on some type of board holding them down. With Lincoln slightly smirking at the fact that happened. With Vilgax saying how do they really expect to win. Whole normal villain stuff that he said in the OGA on the Force. As with this, the first one, launch office. Before they attacked, they said that now he has all of their powers. What do they do to expect to win? With Link and Nezuko telling him what they do, as they tell the Omnitrix to activate the self-destruct mode. With Vilgax asking them if they're crazy, it'll destroy the whole universe. With them replying that if they let it charge for a couple of days, they'll only give them a few seconds. About a minute or two at most. With Vilgax thinking that they're bluffing, with them staring at him as the countdown reaches 0, blasting Vilgax back into one of his control panels, as the watch drops to the floor, smoking and smoldering. With Link and Nezuko grabbing them, looking at it kind of sad, with Ben coming up beside them and telling them that it had to be done to stop him. As they think about this as true before activating One for All, with them telling him, with Ben saying, now let's break his face. This is when Kirishima enters unbreakable mode. Everyone goes to their full power as they start jumping Vilgax. Now, during the process of this, with Link and Nezuko getting a clean punch to his face and holding him down with Black Whip, as Clyde and Kevin come in their metal forms, punching him back into his control ship again. Sending him flying back. As Clyde ends up freezing his feet as Shoto blasts him with fire. And basically they're jumping him. But during this, Link and Nezuko are smacked back to where they end up right in front of Albedo and Ajax, and they get an idea. With them in a rush to let him go, using One for All to break the shackles off of him. With them asking why, as they said that they're going to give him the Ultimatrix and Ultimate Omegatrix. And with Ajax and Albedo asking why, they say it's simple, as they activate self-destruct mode. With them thinking that they're bluffing before they show the pieces of the broken Omni and Omegatrix, asking if they think they're really bluffing. With this, they quickly push the 2 buttons on the back before letting it slide off their hands and handing it to them, as they take it and tell the self-destruct mode to deactivate. As they put it on and change the color and start messing with the dials to change the color into green and orange respectively. As they almost immediately show their arms and before transforming, with everyone turning to see the green and orange flash, along with seeing Izuku's green eyes and Lincoln's blue and green eyes, telling them that it's them, as they rush up to Vilgax and punches him in the face, again, sending him back into his control panel. With this, Vilgax aims at the mainstay of Japan, starts typing stuff in before destroying it, saying that he's aimed it directly at Japan, and that he's going to destroy, if they have the omnitrix, he's going to destroy their town. Basic evil shit. And with this, while fighting him, Gwen is able to redirect it at the ocean instead, with them all starting to leave, with Lincoln and Izuku saying that they'll catch up, and that they're finishing this off first. Basically, so the others leave, getting back to their ship thanks to Gwen, as it crashes into the ocean, which leads to a fight between them, as Vilgax asks them what exactly they think they're going to do without their friend's help, with them saying that they have a couple of new tricks now, hitting the watches, as they start turning in, as the green on them starts turning into trees, into a dark wood, as after they're done transforming, screaming ultimate swamp fire, and oh lord, I forgot what I had Izuku name as swamp fire. I think it was Mr. Nature. Yeah, ultimate Mr. Nature. Sounds really stupid, but as they bring their arms back and proceed to allow 2 jets of blue fire, that basically sends Vilgax flying back. And as the ship starts sinking, they're able to transform into Jet Ray and Stingray before flying out, just as an explosion takes the ship, blowing it up. And, they're a minute before, as they try to look for Albedo and Ajax, but realize that they already got away. And so this leads to the 2 flying off and flying back to their ship as it explodes. Now then, everyone that's watching is horrified for a couple of seconds, only to see Lincoln and Izuku flying up to them and landing on the ship before going through and making it back to the main hall, with everyone basically going to rush them and give them a hug, but Ben telling them to never scare them like that again, basically before hitting them upside the head a bit. And yeah, with that, this also leads to them asking what they know. Class 1A, what they know, with Lincoln and Izuku telling them that they know they broke protocol, but they're not going to let everyone die. And so, with this, Ben thinks to himself for a bit before telling him that they can just keep it under wraps. As well, they do, with them telling Ben, Lincoln, Izuku, Chandler, and Clyde, that they actually have been training their powers more for the upcoming wars. To make sure, basically telling them, makes them to make sure that they know that they aren't just sitting on their asses letting the future happen like it's supposed to. They're taking measures to stop it. And so with this, Class 1A is taken back to the dorm rooms with Gwen and Lincoln and Izuku all using some magic to, fix up the dorm room's main living area. And with this, everything's really happy. As Lincoln stays in... as Lincoln and Kyoka basically stay with Eri, while we skip to Izuku, who's setting up on the roof by himself, just looking up. As Ochako comes out, asking Izuku basically what's up. And, Izuku thought that everyone was gonna die. And, he didn't like it, but digress. As he grabs Ochako's hands and basically tells her that he was so scared for everyone. But he doesn't want to be. But this also eventually ends with Izuku telling Ochako how he feels about her. Since, yeah, let's to laying, kissing. I don't know how they kiss. That's about it. So yeah, they kiss and get together. So, yeah. Now then, if I had them together before all of this, let's just retcon it and say they got together now. Okay? Okay. And with that, that's where we end this part off. With everyone being just happy and stuff, as Izuku and Ochako go down and tells everyone about their relationship. You know, all happy, fun times, stuff like that. So, yeah. Everyone's like, yeah, just happiness all around for them. And with that, we end this one off with Class 1A just smiling and happy about everything. And, yeah.